We all know there is no perfect time to record a video. So there are some tricks and there are some things that you can learn really early on that'll help you a lot. And some of them, you'll hear some people talk about batch recording. And basically that means you find that perfect time and you sit down and you record 4, 5, 6 videos. And I've done that. I've even taken on my solar channel back a few weeks ago, I did a live stream where I sat down, I had content for 6 videos laid out. I opened each one of them. I closed each one of them, and then I released them in succession, and which I'll probably do with this one. I've got a couple of subjects here, and each one of them could be a good video also. The large portion, one thing I learned online the other day was that a large portion of people that are online watch live streams during the day, and the percentage was high. It was like 30 to 40% of people. I'm also learning that a large portion of them watch on TV if the content that they're watching is long. And sometimes there is the perfect time. Don't get me wrong. I set aside time every week for my live stream. I set aside time every week to do certain recordings and stuff like that. But if you want to really be productive, you have to remember that there is no perfect time. You're not going to get the stars to align. And what you need to do is start recording things in small batches. And what I mean by that is you say to yourself, oh, I've got, for me, it's all about especially with YouTube growth and stuff. It's like, oh, here's a problem I'm having, and so I'll record a video on microphones and how the microphones work, or I record a video on how earlier this week I recorded a video on how to use ChatGPT and vidIQ to create thumbnails with AI that look really super professional. And then I'll go next week and I'll create another one based on taking that that thumbnail that they built there and upping the game a little bit and making it even a little bit stronger and a little bit better, and how ChatGPT can help you with things like that. The point is there was no perfect time to do that. So I ended up recording a lot of my videos in small pieces. So for example, if I want to do an installation of, let's say, a small solar system, I don't sit down and get all, put all the parts together and do everything all at once and take a whole afternoon to put that solar system together. I'll take the camera with me when I go shopping and I'll record a couple of scenes at Home Depot, or I'll go through and scroll down through Amazon and record a couple of screenshots on Amazon, and I'll put those in a little file with links for my affiliate programming for later. And we'll get to affiliate program, and I'll say thank you, Brooke, for that one. The idea here is just record what you can as you go along. Take the content at the end of each day or a couple of times a day and move it off onto, what I do is I separate all of my content into folders that basically has all that content in it, making it very easy for me to complete that video and then get it on the schedule. Now, I do a lot of other things to help me keep up with the schedule. I use ChatGPT, and I may make a video about this at one point. I use ChatGPT to keep a list of all the video ideas that I know I want to build. And I've asked it to do things like rank those videos and tell me which ones are going to have the greening effect, which ones are going to be search content, which ones are going to just be hot content that I need to get out quickly, and then rank those so that I release them or put them in the right priority to get them taken care of. Because what ends up happening is you end up with a list, for me, I end up with a list of 50, 60 different videos, and you can see here, I got a giant list here of just things that I work on and different ideas, and I'll take this list and transfer it to ChatGPT, let it rank it, and then it builds the schedule for me. And I kind of use this as my notes as I'm going through the week, just to kind of keep up with new ideas. And at the end of the week, I sit down with ChatGPT, I give it all the news, the new ones, and that way I don't that way I don't forget what the videos I'm trying to build. Because a lot of the times, I'll write down one little line, and if that's all I put on there, I see that one little line later. Sometimes I remember it, sometimes I don't. And so this way I can actually tell ChatGPT, look, I need to do a video about watch hour calculations. How are we going to how do people see how many watch hours they have? What is YouTube looking at versus what you see in some of the reports that you have? And how can you see when those hours are going to fall off and which hours are going to be added and when they're going to be added, which ones count, which ones don't, and that kind of thing. So I give that information to ChatGPT and it remembers it. And then when the time for that video has come, I can easily have it recall that to me and give me an idea of hey, give me a 5 or a 10 bullet point thing and a summary of what I was thinking when I designed this idea, so that I don't have to keep track of it. So that's another tool that I use that is good. But the point here is that there is no perfect time to record videos most of the time. And what you need to do is you need to learn to just record those pieces as you go along through your everyday life, and do a piece of this there, do a piece of that there. A lot of the times I'll record a video of me getting the equipment and putting it in a stack so that I've got, some, and I'll record some B-roll as I'm doing that. A picture of the inverter, a picture of the batteries, picture of some wires. And then if I need to make cables, I'll do another video about, making a couple of cables so that I know what it is. And if I need to do another video about me sitting down and drawing up some plans on paper, and I'll record some B-roll that, and sometimes not even B-roll, sometimes primary roll. Then I'll move on to the next piece of it, where I get all the equipment and I put it on a table and I assemble it. And then I, put that up for a little while, and I may come back to it the next day when I get some batteries and show me putting the battery bank together and belting everything up, or mounting all of this. And then I have this big launch of turning it on. But all of these pieces I do not necessarily all together. And that's the trick to being very prolific. If you want to release content on a reliable, good basis without sacrificing quality, which I strongly suggest against, don't sacrifice the quality. Be genuine, like we are here today. I'm just sitting in my RV. I'm just talking to you. I've got a simple checklist here and some live stream software from OBS that I'm using to basically learn my laptop and everything. And there's no stress. It's very, very fun and easy to do it. So learn. That's really one of the first things you need to learn to do, is how and when you're going to building content. Figure out what works in your schedule. And if that's blocking out time and building content during that time, great. But I found that most people are not real productive that way. What they need is they need a way to record 5-minute snippet here, a 10-minute snippet here, 5-minute snippet here when the time arises. Okay, I'm waiting for the wife to go to dinner and she said she's going to talk to a friend and she's going to be on the phone for 30 minutes. Okay, great. I'm going to go out and mount a couple of terminals in a solar system, and I'll bring the camera with me, set it on a tripod, record, and go. Having all of your equipment, my equipment, I can pick it up at any time, and one of my microphones pairs to my laptop so I can do this type of recording, and another one pairs to my phone so that I can go out and I can do recording in the solar shed or out in the RV or whatever I want. Both of them do that. Now, if I need to record an interview or something like that, then I pair it to the other device, and there's a little bit more setup. But if there's an interview, there is more setup anyway. So that's not really a big deal. But learn to do that. There is no perfect time.